Hello, survivors. Welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Geoffrey Card, and big surprise, we're going to keep talking about the Curveball update because it is getting perilously close. But this isn't going to be a normal episode. We've actually got some visitors from out of town sitting on our couch in the actual streaming studio. Welcome Cass, Lucy, and Bishop from Wushu Studios. So I'm going to go through and introduce them one at a time so you can get to know who these people are. Starting with Cass. Cass, you are the tech lead, I believe, on the team that's working on the Curveball update. Is that right?
Yes, I am.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Sort of like, what you do, what you like, what games do you play?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Cass, and I'm from Liverpool. I saw someone ask if there's reds or toffees in the room. I'm a red. I've been in games for, I think, about 8 years. And I've been at Wushu for about 3.5 now. But yeah, the tech leads for our side of things for State of Decay 2. I'm a huge horror fan, so that is my whole thing.
So your favorite games tend to be horror games?
Yes, most of them, but my actual favourite game is Final Fantasy IX, which is not a horror game at all, but the rest of them are all horror. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say.
Well, that's fine. We can move on to Lucy. So Lucy Lowe here is a UX artist, I believe, on the Curveball update. So she has a lot of responsibility for some of your favorite parts, including the new menu and we'll talk about the zombies later. But Lucy, do you want to give a little bit of background who you are and what you like?
Yeah, hi everyone. It's lovely to be here. I'm Lucy. I'm from Manchester originally, but I now live in Liverpool. I've been in game dev for 9 years now, and nearly 5 of those years have been at Wushu. I've mostly worked on driving games in the past, and this is my first ever zombie game, and I've really enjoyed working on it. It's been very fun so far. Sorry, I just looked at the chat and it really
what do you play in your spare time? Cass has got her horror games. What do you into?
Yeah, I'm massive single player games fan. So some of my favourite franchises, Red Dead, Fallout, The Witcher. I just love single player RPG really.
Looking forward to Starfield?
I'm ashamed to say that I don't have an Xbox or a PC capable of running anything.
Oh no! Okay, well,
I know.
I'll get off that sore subject then. And Bishop, of course, the audience who watch us every time have already met you a couple episodes ago, but do you want to introduce yourself to those who haven't quite met you yet?
Yeah, sure. So I was on the last stream with John. I'll do a very quick introduction. So I'm a producer here at Wushu. I'm looking after this fantastic Curveball team. I've been in the industry for about 8-9 years now. Big D&D fan. Love Baldur's Gate, playing Baldur's Gate 3 at the moment. Loving my time on that. So I'm heavy on my RPGs, especially classic top-down RPGs, like Icewind and all the rest of it. So yeah, that is me.
Awesome. Well, we've got another hidden guest. My classic co-host Brant is just barely off the couch, so we did not have room for him, so he's going to lean in. There he is.
Hi, I'm Brant. I'm new here. This is my second day on the job, and I'm really excited to work with Geoffrey.
So Brant is going to be the one who is playing the game, and actually I can probably let him get started on
There's
that.
a controller.
Should lay down sort of a base coat of gameplay before we start getting into the questions.
Dun.
Our entire job right now is to answer your questions about the Curveball update. A lot of you have been playing in the PTR already have opinions and thoughts and questions about how this is going to be when it finally officially lands. And so I've collected a few questions already from social media, but if you who are watching this live have questions too, feel free to just spit them out, and our moderators will funnel them to us, and we'll see how many of them we can answer over the course of the game. But Brant, right now, do you want to quickly check and just sort of see what's going on the Curveball's front on this particular game? I spent the sort of the 5 hours getting the community ready for this. So what's going on?
So it looks like we have the Curveball Lone Raider active at the moment, which means...
What does the Lone Raider do?
I'll keep pushing down the line.
Apparently there's a Lone Raider.
There is.
And it looks like I need to go murder this person.
Yeah. So
I will let you discover it yourself. How about that for a surprise?
Does he have purple eyes too? Because that'll freak me out.
Well, if you went onto the Curveball menu, and actually, why don't we start there?
Okay.
Pop open the Curveball menu.
Oops.
The Lone Raider, you can see a whole breakdown of what he does. And so, Lucy, you were largely responsible for how curveballs get communicated to the player. And I'm curious, I don't know, do you want to sort of give us a little bit of a breakdown of that? Like, tell us about how you came up with the journal and like what you're trying to accomplish with this particular piece of UI.
Yeah, so it's probably worth clarifying really early on that we did call this feature the journal originally, but obviously we appreciate you had a journal in State of Decay 1, which is why we renamed things to Curveballs. So just, if we keep saying the journal, we're referring to the Curveballs menu.
Yeah, that was my mistake, sorry, because it was called journal for so long. I got stuck with it.
But you can also see a lot of journal influences from the visual style of this screen anyway, with all the sort of torn paper and the notepads and the calendar on the side. But from a very early on stage in development, we knew sort of what information we needed to tell the players. So like you can see the 3 active effects in the middle. So we sort of communicate things that are positive or negative to players with like a sort of red and green language, and also arrows that sort of point up or down, depending on whether it is good or bad for players. This is the notes, which Brant has just opened up for us. So as you're sort of playing through the game, you'll get a dialogue feed come through with all sort of information relating to the curveball that you're playing, and then that'll be logged for you in this notes pop-up. And if there are any objectives, like there are on this example, to kill the hostile enclave, it'll pop up with these extra little brown UI elements, which will tell you exactly what you need to do. So we need to stop the disruptions by killing the hostiles. So because this has an objective, if we go navigate over to the map, exactly like you did a few seconds ago, you can see the curveball goals are now in the goals list, and it'll tell you where you need to go to take out this lone raider. So you can pin that to the HUD if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, you don't even have to use the manual waypoint. You can actually use the official waypoint if you want to.
Yeah, so if you hover over it, that's it, and press A to pin to HUD. So when you come back out into the, oh, is it pinned? There we go. Yep. So it's in the top right
Look at
now.
that.
Yeah, and you've got your little marker in world, so you can follow that and then find that lone raider and take him out.
I really, really appreciate the look of that journal. I mean, it screams like State of Decay. I love the analog. I mean, it's so analog. I love it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like kind of a callback to the original, State of Decay. Like, State of Decay 2 has always had kind of this sort of abstract kind of look to it, but State of Decay 1 was skeuomorphic. And actually, I should let the UX professional explain to the audience what I mean when I say skeuomorphic.
Yeah, so this is sort of the concept that the thing you're trying to represent something in real life. So if you think about a shopping basket, when you're shopping online, it will be represented by an actual shopping basket icon. So similar how I was mentioning before, that this is called the journal. We kind of made it look like a journal with the UI elements that we've chosen. And I know you did just mention it kind of fits in with the world of State of Decay 2, but that I did have a bit of a leg up with that, because obviously you guys had already defined your whole art style and your brand. So really I just had to try and fit into your existing colour palettes and shape design. So I already had a kind of benchmark to work from with the design of this screen. So yeah, I had a head start really.
Well, that actually, yeah. So that kind of raises the question: like, is it easier as a general rule to try to, keep working on an existing franchise that has that stuff established, or are there challenges to that? Like when because you could come up with ideas that just they're good ideas on their face, but they don't fit. How do you sort of navigate that?
Yeah. I guess it's neither easier or harder. I guess it comes in waves really, because some elements are easier. Like I said, you already have a defined art style, which I just kind of have to fit into, so you know when something stands out and doesn't work with the brand.
Oh no.
But in the same time, you're kind of limited to the restrictions of whatever you've already set with either how players navigate the menu and things like that. So we couldn't do anything that was different to player expectations. We had to make sure it fitted in with what players wanted to play the game as.
So speaking of fitting in with existing things, Cass, I think one of the more difficult things that we've asked you to do is take this big, huge, elaborate, established code base that we've been iterating on and adding new cruft onto for like 5 years or 7 years. I don't know how long we've been working on this game, for ages. And you've got to inherit all of that. And how do you even wrap your head around something like that?
Yeah, well, when we started, we kind of created like a plan of attack, we called it. So we just wanted to understand like all the core systems. So it was more like just we kind of split off and look for clues kind of thing to try and figure out, like, how does the missions work? How do the zombies, like, choose what they want to do? So we were just investigating for a long time. What we didn't want to do was, you know, change it so much that it didn't play like State of Decay anymore. We just wanted to look where we can hook things in, like, where was the most potential we could, like, add difficulty or add benefits to. So, yeah, it is a large code base, but I think we all had fun delving into it.
Was the first part of that plan cry at the complexity and ridiculousness of our code base for like a week?
No, we really did call it plan of attack though, and we were like, you know, army helmets on, diving into the trenches. So yeah, no, it was great though. We all had good fun, and we actually use a lot of that investigation still when we're implementing more curveballs, so it was useful. All of it was useful.
Oh yeah, I'm switching for that.
So, by the way, I want to highlight the amazing cheese that went into Brant's success just now. Like, he climbed up on the roof and fired through a tiny window. The other couldn't see him. It was amazing.
That's emergent gameplay, Geoffrey. I'll talk to you about what that means later.
But yeah, it is always really a challenge to do the handoff. Like for instance, you know, last stream, I was implementing a whole bunch of traits and skills and stuff like that on the air, and then I checked it in at the end of the day and found out the next day that I had actually broken the build for all of you because basically, you sort of you kind of made the process your own. There were just a couple of little process differences where I was doing it the old way and you all are doing it the new way, and I did it the old way and ruined all of your stuff. And so I apologize for that. But also, but one thing that means is I'm going to need to go back, rewatch that video, and redo all of those changes the correct way. Now that there's a new correct way. So those of you who enjoyed watching me add traits and skills and names and stuff to the game, they are going to show up at some point, but definitely after the Curveball update, when things have calmed down and I can take the risk of checking something in without breaking the game for everybody in Liverpool.
So now that I've killed this guy...
Yes, so unfortunately you have stumbled upon a bug here where basically the curveball lingers around a little longer than it should do.
Okay.
It looks like it's just cleared now.
Yep.
That is something we've already sort of looked into. So this build is a little bit older than what we're working with back in Liverpool. So it's interesting to see all the things that we've already fixed.
So we've actually had a lot of questions from people about sort of the rate at which curveballs appear. And it kind of comes from a few different angles. I know that Zack Attack and Loungy both sent me questions asking, in a long-term community, is there any way to speed up the rate of curveballs or to force harder ones to appear? It seems like some players just really want to see more and more and more of this update, and they're wondering, is there going to be some way that they can just make it happen as often as possible?
So I don't know how much I can say about that because John, our lead designer, isn't here. He is flying here right now. So, but it is something that we've been talking about, and we can't confirm or deny if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I love that.
Perfect answer.
I love that answer.
But what that means is you've heard what the audience has been saying. Like, you've heard all these, because there's actually Airy Twitch actually just asked a very similar question just now in the chat, and so like that's one of the most popular questions that we get. And so the thing that's cool is you all are clearly listening to the audience, and that listening to the audience doesn't always mean you have a perfect answer for them that you can just drop into the game really easily and just hand it right to them. And so there's always questions and things you have to go through to figure out if you can give them what they want, and if so, when and how. But the fact that you're paying attention, I think, is key. That's number one. And so we'll look forward to finding out what the real answer is eventually.
Yeah, the sort of State of Decay community that you guys have built have just been incredible. They've been so appreciative of everything that we've done, and we've been really appreciative of all the feedback that we've been getting, so please keep it coming. We listen to it all, and we discuss it all regularly in meetings, so if we might not respond to you directly, I'm really sorry about that, but we are actually discussing everything you say to us, so please just keep that feedback coming in.
We're super lucky. We have built and are thankful for just this fantastic community of ours. We feel like they should all get credits in our games too, because they're hand in hand building this game with us and continuing to play it and support it. So I'm glad that you guys are feeling the same thing about our community, because it's a special. They're a special community in all of games, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sorry, no, I was going to say you said the best word for it before. You said it was very wholesome.
Yeah.
It is very
Yeah.
wholesome.
Yeah.
It's just such a nice community, and I think the positive reaction for the first, reveal of the feature, like, we were super motivated by that. It was really sweet, and yeah, we just love seeing the feedback. Sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I've been in game dev for like 9 years now, but this is the first time I've ever been part of a public beta, so I had no idea what to expect, but I certainly wasn't expecting the sort of flood of positivity that we've been getting. You guys are really invested, and yes, everybody wants it harder as well. I wasn't expecting that.
That was a shock, wasn't it?
There will always be people who want it harder. It's funny, after we put out Nightmare, one of our longtime streamers, Fall Down Go Boom, had specialized in doing speed runs, like taking legacying in one sitting. I think in one case he had it down to under 2 hours, or maybe even less. And then we put out Nightmare, and then he went at it again. And then within, what was it, a couple weeks after we put out Lethal, he was doing speed runs on Lethal. And we're like, what can we possibly do, right?
Yeah, so I mean, when I was working, one of the first things that I did when I joined the studio was working on Breakdown, and and we added, originally it was like we did like 10. Originally I was going to do like 5 different difficulty levels, then we like raised it to 10, and then Jeff Strain was like, no, you're not going to go to 11. 11 is obviously the number you should go to. And so I think we shipped originally was just like the 11, was it something like 11, and then by the time we were coming out with the Year 1 Survival Edition, like a year and a half later, people had so completely destroyed that top level that we had to go up to 99 levels. To try to keep pace with them.
Breakdown 99. And people were like, oh yeah, I hit 99.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. There isn't a limit. There is no limit to what our audience is capable of, and so we just have to keep running to catch up.
I'm pretty sure if you decide to make yet a harder level than Lethal, you should just let the people spawn in and then just have them fall over dead.
Yeah.
Someone will
say,
find a way around.
Try to beat that, and somebody will. They'll be like, oh, I beat it in 2 days. Yeah.
So we did get a couple of questions about one from Ranethcord and one from Warbucks, wanting to know. So currently in the PTR, there seems to be some kind of like AI bug where standard fast zombies will not do their lunge attack, which makes them a lot easier to escape. And they were particularly curious. Is the Wushu team aware of that? Is that something that you've got on your slate?
Yes, so we're really sorry about that. That has actually been fixed. So it will drop with the next PTR update. We just haven't done an update in a little
What
while.
does Geoffrey need?
But yeah, that was fixed as soon as.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's another case of you paying attention and making sure that you're staying on top of this stuff.
Absolutely.
It's not news to you in the middle of a stream, whether or not that's actually happening.
So is the only time I'm going to see like the explodey zombies and various other things when one of these curveballs is active?
Yes.
Okay.
So the curveball, there's a number of ways curveballs can appear. Some of it is sort of over a period of time-based, they'll fire through. Other things are triggered by certain actions that you do in-game. Might favour a curveball coming in over another. I'm not going to tell you exactly what those triggers are because... yeah.
Keeping it secret.
Well, Peroxicus was actually really curious if you play in a forever community for a really long time and you've gone through curveball after curveball after curveball, are they going to start repeating at some point, or do you just kind of run out of curveballs at some point?
Yes, the curveballs will repeat themselves, but we've designed them in a way where sort of all the effects that sort of roll with the curveball have several different modifiers or tunables involved in them, so even if you get the same curveball twice, it won't be exactly the same curveball because the effects might be slightly different. So yeah, they will sort of repeat themselves, but they should feel different each time you play with them.
That's so cool.
So if you really like the purple splashy zombies that you get at the very beginning of the tutorial, you will see them again eventually if you play long enough. You just need to play long enough.
Yes, but that tutorial one is I think the only example in the game with one effect active. The rest of them should have 2 to 3, so they're only going to get harder from there, basically.
Now, speaking of the color purple, actually, so I'm really curious, Lucy, how did you land on this purple color that sort of permeates the entire Curveball update.
Yeah, well, I love purple to begin with, but I think purple's perfect for zombies because it's sort of like a colour of death, decay, and we really wanted to sort of highlight these zombies as being different, augmented in some way, and the purple eyes really helped with that. Obviously, you already use orange and red in game, so we needed our purple eyes to stand out for all players, which is why we introduced these sort of veins that sort of spew from their eyes as well. And if you see them scream or yawn, you'll also notice that their throat and the back of their mouth glows purple as well. So
Oh, wow.
we want them to stand out slightly from the regular zombies.
Well, if we do get a Curveball that involves a bunch of purple-eyed zombies, we're going to have to look at them very, very closely.
Well,
You'll
I'm
have to get
gonna-
up close and personal.
I'm just taking care of some of your housekeeping duties, like I can't stand that your community doesn't have very many materials, so I'm taking care of that for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you doing the
But-
work for me there.
I'm gonna go on the hunt to find some explodey purple eyeballed zombies,
Yeah, I think.
and then hit them in melee and watch what happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure you have a curveball active at the moment though. do
Oh, I
you?
don't.
Oh,
Oh,
we got
I-
the Gunk zombies.
I thought
oh,
since
that's an
it
old
was-
one.
No,
That's an
these
old
that
one.
ended. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, I didn't even read.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait to see if another one kicks in during the
All right,
actual
well-
stream. If not, we'll just have some gameplay going on in the background for fun.
I'm going to search for guns because I can't not. Oh, nope, it's empty. Bummer.
So, Warbox is celebrating that Curveball's got the Voodoo Vince color scheme.
Hey, now there's a connection. Voodoo Vince was the first 3D game I worked on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I thought that one would appeal to you, Brant.
Yeah, purple, man.
So, what were some of the more challenging curveballs to work on? I mean, I don't know if you necessarily want to reveal all of them at this stage, but like, were there particular curveballs that were like, you were like, oh, this sounds good, and then trying to implement it was actually kind of a nightmare?
Yeah, I'm not sure if this one has kind of been revealed yet, but there's one kind of to do with an existing danger in the game. That it's very specific how it works, and we wanted to play with it and kind of make it a bit more difficult than it already is. That was that's the one that kind of gave us the most trouble in trying to implement things around it without breaking the original functionality. Just trying to expand on it. Yeah, I don't know
well,
if I don't want to
there's-
say in case.
There's so many. I'm not going to try to force you to say
Yeah.
something that you shouldn't. But that's one of the challenges of a game like this, right? Where it's like it's this huge, open world game with a lot of different simulated elements all impacting each other, and it's really easy to make a change in one place that sort of spirals out and have like unintentional consequences somewhere else. Or
Yeah.
in your case, you're like inheriting a bunch of features that were already made to work in a lot of different ways with a lot. They've just got tendrils out touching a lot of different systems, and just making one change can just, I imagine could easily be a nightmare. That's one reason. There are some basic like UX improvements we've been wanting to make the game for a long time. Like for instance, being able to spam a crafting button instead of every time you press a crafting button, it knocks you out to the top level menu in the base, and you have to go back in and find that same crafting action. As I understand it, when I ask programmers about, hey, can we fix this? They're like, actually, the entire menu is built around the fact that it does that. And you can't change it without redoing the entire menu, and so good luck.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's difficult to know where it's gonna happen. Something might happen. You're just trying to keep an eye out for it when you change one little thing.
Yeah.
Stop shooting, or else they'll.
Because when you're in the midst of working on a game like this, and and everything that's in the game was made by the same people that currently work here, and have worked on it for the past couple of years, which is the state we were in, towards the end of development on State of Decay 2. Then there's a lore keeper who knows the right and wrong thing to do with every feature. But now, like the programmer who told me that we couldn't redo that thing, I don't think he's worked at the company for like 3 years now. And so like even just the lore of why we couldn't change it is lost to time, and somebody would have to pick it up from scratch and try to figure it out, which is just a whole different problem.
So, spoiler alert, this little spot I went to on Mager Valley, this corner right here,
Yeah.
is a bonanza for for materials and stuff. So if you're ever short, just come down here.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think that it might have been La Coalición who told me about this spot. Like, this is sort of the place to go to get, like, because just as
If
one
you go-
little strip mall, you get like 4 or 5.
There'll be more right here.
Rucksacks?
There's a whole bunch more rucks right there too. No matter what we did to try and figure out, don't fix it, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, please don't fix it.
Don't you
You've
dare
told
fix
us
it,
now.
because that'll ruin all my gameplay. Yeah, it's
New curveball unlock.
curveball. Ruin it.
Rucksacks explode.
All right, I'm full up. I've done all your housekeeping for you, Geoffrey.
Okay, great. So La Coalición was wondering if, like, would you recommend, like, if somebody is, they have not been playing in the PTR, this, eventually this game, this update will land in, whatever platform they're playing, and they're going to try it out for the very first time. Would you recommend that they just jump into an existing community that they're already well committed to and just sort of keep playing in their current map? Or would you suggest that they restart something, like start a new community or move their community to a new map and just sort of start fresh? I think he's worried about there being maybe potential bugs or something and there being an existing community. Well, I don't know. What's your recommendation? Cass or Bishop or, yeah.
I guess it depends how fond you are of your current community members as well, because obviously the curveballs, well, they're not designed to make it harder, they are designed to sort of mix up the way you typically play the game. So if you're used to being really stealthy, for example, and the zombies' smell is increased and now you can't be stealthy around them anymore, you might find that you have to play the game completely differently, and then some of your community members might suffer for that. So it is entirely up to you whether you want to start a new community or not, but that would just be my one piece of advice to remember.
That makes sense, yeah. So sort of the biggest the biggest risk that people should be thinking about is if they're unfamiliar with curveballs, they might not be certain which ones are going to be the scariest, which ones could get people killed. So maybe they shouldn't try it out initially with their most favoritist community, just in case they're not ready for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to be
definitely.
safe.
Ooh, sports car.
And what's the after you start a game? Let's say I take my community that's been alive for 200 days. Are curveballs available immediately? Like, because I've put that much time in, like they'll start, or do I have to do something with that community first?
Yeah, do you have to play with them for a little while before the tutorial first kicks in? After the update lands, or will they just start immediately with an older community?
So, yeah, I think that there is a buffer period, basically. I think for a brand new community, it is a bit longer, and for an existing community, depending on how far you're into that community, then it will happen a bit quicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am such a good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, something Viscid, by the way, pointed out that particular spot that you went to, Brant, it's pretty much always materials and fuel. That's what you get set up with.
It's the winner. It's the winner.
You have to get all the Molotovs you want.
No. Do I want to spend Geoffrey's hard-earned? No.
Oh yeah, no. I made this community just for this. Do whatever you want. Wait, don't spend my prestige, but
I'm not going to spend your prestige.
just I got 6,000 of it.
Do what you want, but
I'll just order up a whole bunch of stuff that you can't use. Let's see. I do need that.
So MSSC Track 92 says, I'm on day 1,112, so when will the curveball update start for me? And actually, we recently had, I think Sidechat the Grey also just rolled over 1,000 days, and the day counter is now stuck at 77 for him. Because I think we just did not plan for people rolling over those days. We gave him 3 digits because that was an insane number of days, and no one will ever get there.
The very concept of somebody rolling the odometer on our community screen was so completely bonkers. So, maybe hint, hint.
You're going to get a UI request for this now.
Let's
see the backlog in my mind.
Yeah.
So we got a question from Big Daddy Cincy. He wants to know how many different curveballs there are going to be. Now, I'm not sure you actually want to answer that question, but I think he's maybe looking for a ballpark.
Yeah, so we did talk about this earlier, didn't we? And I'm probably not going to give a ballpark either.
Okay.
But I am going to tease it and basically say we're making decisions to drop and pick up curveballs depending on community feedback at the moment. So there's a couple in particular when we dropped the first PTR that we were like, hey, we've played this, the community's playing this isn't really working, you know, it doesn't really do the impact that we wanted, so we kind of dropped it. So yeah, we're still figuring out that final list, to be honest. And we'll carry on listening to the community and seeing what they find from the current PTR and seeing what they're enjoying, really.
Yeah, that gets to the question that one of the questions that La Coalición had, which is, are you at least hoping to introduce new curveballs in the future after the release of Update 34?
Yeah, so this is another thing we have spoke about internally as well. It depends on how well it sits with the community and how much they're enjoying it, to be honest. If they're absolutely loving curveballs and what we've done, like, we have got plans to add more in and add more frequency to them and variety and all that good stuff, really. So it depends on how good they are finding it at the moment, to be honest, and how well it's sitting with them.
So I'll just say, no matter how you feel about this, make sure you tell us publicly that you love it, so I get more curveballs.
Yeah, scream at us on Discord. Tell us that you are enjoying it.
All right. If this, I don't like the demand for food, people. If they're not nice,
Oh yeah, feel free to do whatever you want with those.
I know we're not exactly friends, but if you can spare, okay, they'd be appreciative. I'll let it slide.
So Mr. Ed Plays Sims Games wants to know, can you turn off curveballs and still play the regular game after the update?
Yes, you can. So I think we really wanted to give players the choice in case they wanted to keep the original gameplay style. There is an option to turn it off. I don't know if I can give more details, but if you're in the middle, you can't just turn off the curveballs when you get a bad curveball you don't want, and then turn it back on again when you think, I'll just get a better curveball. So you can't really game the system, but yeah, you can turn it off.
Cool. And that's and so I believe that the option doesn't appear immediately, but after the curveball tutorial arrives, that's when the option appears in the settings menu. You can go track it down and turn it off.
Yeah.
Cool. Because so I know like Cogs242 in the chat. He's not a big fan. He's usually vocally against any kind of skeuomorphism in UI, which made this not his favorite update. But he also was a huge fan of giving people the option to turn new features off. So I think we're breaking even with Cogs, right now, which is good.
That's okay by me then.
So did each of you have like a favorite curveball? Why don't I start with Bishop?
We just got a curveball.
Oh, we just got one? Well, let's look at this one first. We'll talk about favorites in a minute.
So this is now moved into your upcoming section of the journal. So you kind of get a sort of teaser that you've got something you might want to prepare for. You don't know just yet if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing until it appears in the active stage. So you do have to wait a little bit longer, but as the dialogue sort of just appeared at the bottom of the screen, then if you press Y to bring up your notes.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't
Not
ignoring
that Y, the
you.
other Y, yeah.
Y. There we go.
So you can read back and see everything that was sort of just said if you missed any of the dialogue that came up on screen. So we find out basically there's a mysterious person called the Bullet Benefactor. An apocalyptic Robin Hood sounds pretty good to me.
This is already my favorite curveball.
Yeah. Well, I bet to say so. We've got a bounty broker and a bullet benefactor. Are we gonna have like a brain baker? Like, are we going with double alliterative B's for all of the mysterious people out on the frontier? Of course, I guess we already have the mysterious wandering trader, which is MWT, and so that doesn't fit the pattern.
They're all Marvel characters.
Yeah, nice try, Geoffrey.
They're all ready to become superheroes. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, okay, yeah. So favorite curveballs, Bishop. Let me start with you. What's your favorite curveball?
Oh, I'm going to tease you now because my favorite curveball is one that we're still considering how to fit into the game. To be honest,
it isn't even really implemented yet.
It's there. It's just we're trying to make sure that it fits the themes and it's balanced and it's fun to play and all the rest of it. So I really want that one to get in. So I'm just going to tease it and leave it at that. Really.
So is that one that is definitely not making Update 34, but it might be considered for some kind of future thing? It's
in a position where we could add it, but there's still a few questions.
Oh, see, this is perfect. I love torturing our audience.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're doing a great job of it.
It's great, and maybe if it's not ready this time round, it could be ready for next time round. So I'll leave it there. There you go. There's some more teasing.
So Lucy, if Bishop didn't steal your answer, do you have a favorite, or you got a similar tease?
Well, yeah, I'm going to double down now, basically, on teasing the audience, because my favourite curveball is actually in the game, but for some reason, I don't think anybody has seen it yet. So I'm not going to spoil it because it's a nice surprise when you see it. I think as soon as people see it, they'll start talking about it, and they'll know which one I mean. So.
Okay, well, Cass, bring us home then. Do you actually have a curveball that everyone has seen that is your favorite? You don't have to.
Yeah, I really like. If this is the name of it officially, I'm not sure if this is the unofficial name, but Stinky Zombies is a good one.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Stinky Zombies. I think I've encountered that one.
So yeah, you'll start to drain your stamina if you're too close to these stinky zombies because they stink, and killing them doesn't really help.
It
could make things worse. So yes.
Is it like everyone's a bloater?
It's
you know what? I'll leave it. I'll let you leave it that if you want. Okay, so what did we actually roll with the bullet manufacturer here?
So the community is on the lookout for ammunition left behind from the bullet benefactor. Ammunition will be frequently deposited into storage. Regular zombies may drop ammo. Higher chance to find. This is already
containers. Okay, go raid all of the rare weapon containers while this is on.
Higher chance to find guns.
Because one of the issues we have like at higher difficulty levels is those rare weapon containers. A lot of the guns get stripped out of them; they get replaced by luxury items and stuff like that. So would this affect the loot tables for those like fancy guns?
And is it?
It's within that zone.
Within that zone.
Oh, within that zone.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go Rambo. I'm gonna go Rambo.
So are you amping up the chances of existing gun loot tables getting called, or is there an additional gun loot table that you're rolling on that's just special to this curveball? I'm just making stuff up here.
Yeah, I think design might be better equipped for that. So
okay, then totally. We'll save that for the next time we have John on here. So. Or the audience can just, what we need. We probably need Arvid to go in there and just do a whole bunch of experimentations and figure out what guns
Mr.
are spawning.
Farrell. Oh, he's a purple.
In the head.
He's a purple face one too.
What? No. Wait. What's happening with the purple faced one?
Well, he died just like a regular. Oh no!
What?
Whoa! Another.
Did that Farrell save you? It looked like the Farrell saved you.
The Farrell saved me. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm running. Running.
Oh, so Terminal Guard wants to know, will the smelly zombies detonate when put on fire like a bloater does?
No, it's not. It's not entirely the same as the bloater.
Okay, so it's not like you just copied and pasted bloater behaviors onto other zombies.
No. It's a bit different.
Did you guys actually try to make this harder? Because I'm not. You guys made it harder.
Are you having the same experience, Brant, that like our audience always has every time we do an update? They all report that the game got harder.
Oh man, why do you hate me so much? Oh, look at that!
Yes. Oh,
thank you, Powerhouse.
That was amazing. That is the best execution move. It'll swing around the head, but when it actually kills two other zombies, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's great.
Oh, hey, Purple. Okay, I know what to do here because I do this and then throw them away and then deal with it this way. Oh, except
you're sick. You're sick.
Zombie tactics.
I got 29 minutes. There's no problem here.
Yeah, it's not like this is lethal where you got like 5.
Look at that. Look at that. I did get I got ammo drop from zombies.
Is that because they had the purple eyes? The purple eyes means this is a zombie that will drop ammo? Is that how it works with this one?
Kind of. I think not every purple-eyed zombie will drop something, so there's also a bit of a gamble, I guess, if you want to either use your ammo like that to potentially get more ammo. It's a bit of a trade-off.
I better pick that up.
Well, Brant has just been using my ammo like
Yes.
like it's free, like it grows on trees. So
I have been using your ammo. I
that's
mean,
okay. It's okay. That's why I got it.
What do you
just
want
for
me to
you, Brant?
What do you want me to do, Geoffrey?
Oh, well, absolutely anything. I actually don't care.
Oh, look at that! Wow, a Spec Ops Arctic Warrior. That's pretty cool.
So, by the way, Peroxicus wanted to give you all a shout out for. Well, we're talking about people's favorite curveballs. I think his favorite is the one where zombies trip all over themselves. He says,
Yeah.
he says the laughter and joy from that one has been priceless.
Yeah.
That was fun to put in.
They're the best ones when it's just silly.
You just,
Two of 'em.
Yeah, you just imagining like clown music in the background.
Like the Benny Hill
Little
theme.
Benny Hill,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I suppose. Oh, come on, that's rude. All I want to do is loot.
See, I'm Team Zombie. I always want the zombies to win.
I want them to win when somebody else is playing, not when
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that's what Lucy has, because Lucy sits next to one of our QA testers, and she's
Oh,
constantly
yeah.
looking at him going, please, you know.
It kind of reminds me when Brant, remember when we were at PAX promoting Lifeline? And that was when we had added danger zones into
Yes.
the game. And so basically we would just always, people got 5 minutes to play the game, and then we'd have to cycle them out to the next person. And so, but there was like one particular station that had like a big screen above it, that was sort of broadcasting their gameplay. And so whenever somebody was at that station, we would always encourage them towards the end of their 5 minutes to go into a danger zone, so they would get completely ripped apart by ferals
Yeah.
on the giant screen.
Yeah.
And whenever that happened, the line got significantly longer.
Yep.
Like people wanted to play a game that would rip them apart.
It was who knew that extreme violence was going to draw people in.
But just there was like this, it was just a hilarious sense of hopelessness in those danger zones. You're like, oh, I can't possibly win. And I mean, that's sort of the kind of person who likes to play this game a lot of the time, is the kind of person who wants to be put in a situation where it seems like they can't win, and then they figure out how to win. Which, like we were talking about with the difficulty levels, it's like that's the kind of player we attract a lot of the time, and that can be fun. We gotta, we try to make the game clearly, marketed to those people.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to take care of this survivor.
Take care of? Oh no.
Yeah, it worries me the way you said that.
I just wanted Geoffrey to wonder what the hell I was doing with these characters.
Yeah. Again, I just made these. If you wanted to shoot this character in the
No,
head, it's fine. It's fine.
I never,
I'll deal with
ever
it.
do that.
I mean, I did try to get cool names on these characters. This is Libby, but it's short for Liberty. So I thought that was. I think that was actually. I think I've got like a second cousin once removed whose name is Liberty. And when I heard that name, I was like, well, obviously that they should have the nickname Libby, and so I put it in the game. And then I think the other two characters in your community are named Robot and Harf. So they're all pretty priceless.
I like it.
I really
That's
like
Harf.
this guy's shirt. I want that T-shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I can
is that
get you
the
one.
White
Yeah.
we got those still, don't we?
Yep.
There we go.
Lying around somewhere.
Yep. After the show, I'll procure one for you.
Yeah, I love the Skeagle design. It's so good.
Yeah.
The Skeagle has been like it's paid itself back so many times in recognizability, and I
Yeah.
mean, I loved it so much I put it on my arm.
Oh,
so
wow.
Fantastic.
yeah, it's been iconic. And what's funny is two different motorcycle clubs have stolen it and put it on the back of their jackets that I know of.
Imagine.
That people have like said. People have sent me like this really like bad photo from a bar. They're like, because they didn't want to get seen taking pictures of these bikers, but they're like, "Are you guys okay with this? Do you want to? Maybe you should talk to legal." And I'm like, "Do you want to tell them?"
Wow.
I don't want to be the guy to walk in and say cease and desist.
You know you've made it when you're on the back of a motorcycle.
That's right.
jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, Chill and Play Games had a question that's probably a little bit more for me and Brant. Wants to know, is the Curveball update being used as a way of testing potential features in State of Decay 3? And I would say, like, directly, no. I mean, we're not coordinating with Wushu and saying, like, oh, here are the plans we have for State of Decay 3, so can you try out this, this, and this? We're not doing that. Like the Curveballs are the brainchild of Wushu. They have come up with them on their own independently, and so we're not telling them what to do. But at the same time, anything that goes into State of Decay 2 and that we see played in the wild, I mean, we're going to learn things from it, right? Yep. It's going to affect the way we do things. And how exactly it will affect what we do, I don't know. But everything is data. Everything that you do is information that we'll use however we can to try to make the game better. So it's not influencing State of Decay 3. It's just not explicitly there to influence State of Decay 3.
Yeah, what I really love in this partnership with Wushu is that we have fresh eyes, fresh brains working on this game. And fresh brains, because ours have been gnawed on for years. But your ideas are stuff that we wouldn't have thought of. I love that fact. I love that that new enthusiasm has been, injected into this franchise, and this kind of thing is exactly what my dreams hope for when we talk about the future of State of Decay. Don't ever remove this. Actually, I'd love for you guys to highlight the breakable cow feature.
Oh, no.
So dry and dusty.
So, just a thought, hint, hint, that I'd love to see more curveballs involving breakable cows.
We're on it.
That kind of sounds amazing, actually.
We will chat to John.
Okay, what you need to do is just say breakable cows spawn snacks.
Beef jerky.
By the way, so when you were talking about biker gangs and stuff, using the Skeagle, McGurk suggested that if you do get in trouble with a biker gang, you just get up on the bar and dance to tequila, and that should diffuse the situation.
I would probably get murdered.
R.I.P. Paul Rubens, though, because
true.
Too
soon.
Too soon.
All right, I'm looking in every possible searchable to find a machine gun. And I'm hoping it's in this first aid kit.
Tiny
that's where it would be.
Never know. You never know.
Well, I mean, our famous one in SOD 2 is finding crisps in gas cans. So they're good to eat.
By the way, I love that pause where you translated.
I did.
Into
Did you see how long it took my stupid American brain to get from chips to crisps?
Yeah. Chips? What? Like with fish?
Why would you put French fries? Sorry.
Uh-oh, you just got a new curveball come through into upcoming.
Oh, really?
Oh, let's see that one. So,
I'm
while
not done
awaiting
searching
that,
for this one.
Peroxicus wants to know, are all of the curveballs universal, or are there some curveballs that are like, they only work on certain levels or in certain situations, or pretty much could any of them land at any time?
Oh, gosh.
So there are some prerequisites for some of them. Certain situations or certain things need to be going on for these to trigger. And we're not going to say what they are. It's very contextual.
Is it something like for instance, the Black Heart could only happen if there is a plague heart on the map, and if there's no plague hearts on the map, that one's not going to spawn?
Right, that's kind of one of them. Yeah, that's more of a that has to happen for us to be able to spawn it. But there's other rules as well that we lean into to make it more contextual to the simulation. And we're looking at how well the player's doing as well for things like this.
It will be interesting to see the ones that have sort of mysterious qualifiers and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see what the audience figures out about how they work. And people like, if you want this curveball, here's what you need to do. Make sure that this is going on. and I wonder how much of that will be made up and not real.
Yeah.
Will just be like, like lore that isn't actually in the game. It's just, if enough people have a certain experience, they can just decide that that's what the rule is.
I guess the goal was to make it feel reactive to the things that you were doing in game. So like an action that you perform feels like, oh, there was a response to that action that I did, to make them feel a bit more grounded, I guess.
So Geoffrey, did you see we've got another incoming curveball?
Oh, what's this one?
This one says fueling the plague. And the note says, I can smell gasoline in this area.
Oh, yeah, and also some text markup. That's what the PTR is for.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyways.
Okay, so it looks like something's gonna be going on with our fuel supplies, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, I'm outside of the. What am I doing? I'm outside of the search zone for guns. America, guns.
Juan Hernandez wants to know: will this update take effect on all communities, even existing ones?
Bring a book out. Bring a book out.
Yes, it will.
You
Yes,
see
it
how
will.
important these are to me.
Yeah.
These are great.
So,
So you're
yes,
distracting us with
what's
your
going
now
on.
explosive.
It's the single greatest addition I've ever made to a game is Breakable Cows. Don't take that away from me, Geoffrey.
Oh, I won't. I would never take your breakable cows.
Sorry. I didn't mean to distract.
No, it's okay.
Oh, look at
Oh,
this.
there we go. PSH.
This is what I like to see. Okay,
Oh,
I
wow.
need to make
the
some room.
papushka.
All right, I got to make some room here. Boink, boink. I'll fill up the car.
I was going to say gas cans stack, but they also stack even better inside the gas. tank of
Inside the
car.
gas. Yep.
So Zach9952 says, so a question about this particular curveball. Will the weapons despawn once this one expires if you haven't found them? I think it's not even a question of despawning, because that's not how our loot table works. It's not like we spawn stuff and then despawn it. Right? So
Yeah. So, yeah, that's currently how the spawning works. I think there's been some discussion of whether it would make sense to despawn them. We have been talking about it, but currently they are there.
So you're considering the question of whether or not to just sort of leave access to those guns in place even after the curveball is done, or just have it be like temporarily we're using the loot tables differently and you can get guns here, but then when it goes away, the loot tables also go back to normal. Like that's still kind of up in the air for you.
I think it's more for design to answer, but I think the idea is maybe we'd lock the container that it's in. You know, you were too late. You didn't get it during the time when you were being challenged to go and grab that gun or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean that makes a lot of sense, right? I mean the whole point of these curveballs is that they change the game for a certain amount of time, right? They don't accumulate over time and everything just gets weirder and weirder until it all goes away. So, we've got a message from BCU Uden, or Oiden maybe, I'm not sure how to read their name. They say, greetings from the UK, fellow Wushu employee. It's almost
Oh,
bedtime,
Ben.
but wanted to give the team my support. Keep smashing it, guys.
Yay!
Hi, Ben.
I wasn't sure who that was, but they have been recognized. So.
Oh.
Thanks for staying up late.
Yeah, go to bed.
Yeah, what time is it? Wow.
Well, 8 hours from now.
It's almost
that's-
4 o'clock our time, so yeah. So was that
Yikes.
almost midnight you guys' time? Something like
Yikes.
that?
I mean, go to work. Go to sleep. You got work in the morning.
Go to work.
Go to work.
Go to work, go to sleep. We don't know. So, question is, okay, so the bullet benefactor is still active. Is it possible for two of those, for that fuel to be active at the same time as? So I'll have to make a choice.
There you go.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Answered
Yeah.
your own
Answer the
question
question.
here.
did the game hear me? What kind of features you adding?
Okay, so there's a disruption to your fuel supplies, but it's coming specifically from a certain plague heart. So if you want it to stop, you've got to target that plague heart.
Oh, I've got to do that.
That sounds like probably you've got 5 minutes.
Oh, plenty
you
of
think you can
time.
take out a plague heart in 5 minutes.
Plenty of time. Especially with lots of your grenades, Geoffrey, that I'm going to
Yeah,
steal.
go nuts. Yeah, those are my warlord grenades. I didn't even get them myself. So
All right, let's
that-
make sure
reduced
everything's
value.
repaired.
And I think we're playing in Dread, so the it's not like you got to kill a lethal plague heart.
All right, I got plenty of bullets. I need more grenades, because it's me. And I need to explode. Oh no, those are great too. All right, we're out. We're off to see the wizard. Where is it? Okay.
Okay.
We'll get there.
So let's see here. So Zombie Slayer 98 just wanted to say that he loves the game and wants to thank you all for the updates. So there you go. There's some of our warm and supportive community for you.
Thank you for playing.
Yeah.
Well, for a long time, when they said we're going to work in partnership with you across the Atlantic to take over work on SOD2. I was like, hold on, wait. But that's only sort of a knee-jerk natural reaction to watching my child get sent off to boarding school. But I'm super happy and confident and relieved and looking forward to what wonderful things you do for this franchise, and I'm really glad that you're our partners in this.
You are too
Oh,
kind.
thank you.
Yeah.
We love working with you, so yeah.
Yeah, this particular feature, it came together so slickly. I mean, we're really accustomed to, going through kind of a long jank phase with a lot of our features that we're implementing because, it's
no.
Oh,
Yes, meant to.
perfect. But
Meant
you
to.
also,
Watch this. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Now I'm on River Road.
Like the way that Lucy, a lot of credit to you and whoever you work with. Like a lot of the user experience of this has come together so well. Like it just really feels like, I don't know, it feels slick and polished. I mean, obviously.
Oh,
Whoa.
what? What just happened?
What? Was there another feature to
What?
this curveball that we were not paying attention to?
What just? Did I hit a goopy zombie? Is that what happened?
Look at the curveball menu again. Let's see.
Explosive plague gas station. Wait.
Wait. So go over to the.
Sorry.
Yeah, that dealie. Plague zombies explode when killed.
There you go.
Okay, so this is my problem, but people
did
who follow
warn
my
you.
personal stream.
That's why you should read the journal.
This is.
I don't read stuff.
Oh,
so I totally
no.
missed that too.
I'm in trouble.
Wow, that was
I'm
great.
in so much trouble now. This is beautiful. I can't. You know what? My enjoyment of this update just went from about a 10 to a 37 in that one moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the reason I wanted to work on this franchise was because of when my Marcus died. I hated that my Marcus died, but I loved that my Marcus died. And
look what's here.
and this is the same kind of thing where it's like the kind of thing that goes wrong under the kinds of circumstances.
No! I found a beautiful car. There's no gas.
Oh, but there was also a purple zombie glamming
Yeah.
onto it, so it was probably.
That one doesn't look healthy.
So wait. So
Oh
are you
my
guys implying
God.
that the zombies are drinking the gasoline? Is that what's going on?
Oh my. Okay.
So the implied storytelling of the Curveball update is one of my favorite things, where it's like you just say something is happening, but there are deeper implications about what's actually happening.
I'm over the moon right now. This is my birthday. Thank you.
it was the shock and horror in your voice when it happened.
I mean, it's State of Decay. Random crap happens, right? And so I've lived with that for over, 15 years now. But that in particular was like such a beautiful moment. Now I'm really scared to shoot these. I can't make it over that. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm buying the first 3 rounds.
We're running low on time, so we gotta annihilate this thing fast.
I'm trying. Thank goodness it's an outdoor.
Oh, easy mode, nice.
Is it an outdoor heart? Did I go to the right spot?
Like it?
I don't see a heart.
Oh
Better
crap!
watch your
What?
back though, I think.
Oh, maybe are we at the wrong site? Maybe or
Well, if you. so if you
we
go
might
back
have marked
into
the wrong,
journal,
just
yeah.
slightly wrong site.
Oh, I love that.
This is
so
actually relating to the plague heart. I think that's what's feeding the zombies with gasoline. So.
Oh, I need to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might not have time to actually kill this.
You know what? We are going to have time. I'm extending the time on this broadcast until I kill this thing, or I get killed.
Well, I have asked Wonder if we can extend.
Okay,
So
we'll
let her make the final ruling.
Let's make the point that I actually have no power, and I just said that. Wonder is actually in charge. Wonder,
So-
please let me kill this
So
thing.
If Wonder doesn't have, okay, she says that yes, she will hang out. The thing is, we just
Thank
have to
you,
keep
Wonder.
moderating the chat, and so we got to make sure that our moderators are available.
Okay, I need to readjust here. Hello. Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, you still get it from
Okay, good. I was worried about
I thought I dropped it right
I
in my
thought I
lap.
dropped it at your feet,
Oh,
too.
hello.
Oh, there's one next.
So they're really useful if you target
Yes.
them carefully.
Yeah.
Yes. See, I turned tragedy into triumph there, Geoffrey.
You absolutely did. By the way, I love that night fell just as these very bright explosive zombies showed up. So, like, I feel like this is we're having a charmed session here.
It's so tense. now.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. Like,
We're all rooting for
this is
you.
one of the
Yeah.
rare times I'm not talking because I just want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Blake Hart
Oh God, what's
destroy.
happening?
Oh,
So now we
Whoa,
Oh,
there's a
there's a plague.
feral in here.
yeah.
Whoa.
Oh no.
An invisible feral in the dark.
In the dark, in the middle of 1,000 zombies. Oh, come on, run. Grenade. That didn't do anything to stop anybody. I'm going to shoot.
Oh, nice. So can you chain reaction these guys? Like one explosive one sets off another explosive one?
I believe so.
I just have to get to a spot that's. Oh, can I?
Take some help.
Yoink.
There you
Do
go.
the drugs. Do the drugs. I'm gonna fast search. Fast search. Fast search, not hit.
Oh my.
Go on.
Yes.
Do, 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 do,
Are you
do,
actually
do,
going to
do,
get back
do,
and claim
do,
that
do.
car?
I am going to get that car and get out of Dodge.
Okay. I have to see this, and then we really do have to get out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
here.
Sorry, my apologies to everyone.
No, it's fine. I think the audience is on board. I
These
think
are the
Wonder
sacrifices
finds this
we make for
hilarious.
entertainment.
So, yeah, no, we're doing good.
I'm going to distract zombies over the wall.
By the way, when you hit that first zombie, like the chat went wild. By the way, like everybody was like LOLing at us. It was great. Wushu, I think you should consider that an absolute evidence of triumph there.
Huge win. Huge win.
That was a great reaction.
Yes. I think it's going to be fun for people who haven't been playing in the PTR who do stream this game to sort of discover discover curveballs while streaming, alongside their chat and get surprised like that because if they don't read the descriptions. Because there's a bloater.
Come on.
Oh no! If you had hit a bloater as your final act, that would have been amazing.
I'm gonna hit something.
Okay. Once you're on the road, we're gonna start wrapping this
All
up.
right, we can wrap up.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you in the audience for joining us, and thank you Wushu for coming to town and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Why don't I get sort of last words from each of you? So actually, first of all, thank you Brant for being our avatar in the game, checking this stuff out. You really made this possible. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, and thanks to you from Wushu, all your hard work. It's paying off in spades. I love it. I can't wait to play it on my live community, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
And Cass, goodbye to you. Any last words for the audience before you go?
Yeah, just keep giving us feedback. We keep reading it, and we really love seeing everyone's reaction. Like that reaction then was really great. It was really fun. So thank you.
And Lucy, any last words from you?
Yeah, thanks. Same as Cass, thanks for everything. All your input so far has been so invaluable, and thanks for letting us be a part of this incredible project.
Well, thanks to both of you for all of the good work that you've done on this. I'm really looking forward to it coming out. Now, Bishop, I do have one last question for you. This is from Kieran Chiette. They want to know, are you ready to tell the audience when Update 34, the Curveball update, is going to launch?
Yeah, so we do have a date. It is September 18th.
September 18th. So everybody mark your calendars. That is when the Curveball update is going to come out. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to be testing this stuff out on my own personal stream. Everybody out there, get ready. If you haven't been in the PTR, this is coming to you very, very soon. Thank you. And thank you, Bishop.
Thank you.
Well then, let's wrap this up and get out of here. So yeah, come back on September 18th. We're going to be streaming on that date to celebrate the release of Update 34. We'll give you the full breakdown on the patch notes and everything. So come and join us. We love you. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awkward silence. Are we out or we got awkward silence?